think it modulates, right? I think there's some days where you're like, well, not some days, maybe some months where it's like, well, we've got this done really well now. And the machine's kind of running and we've got all of these different processes working. So what more is there? But then something else comes, right? Like right now, there's 2 new projects that I'm working on, one in the micro-credential space, and then the other in, of course, the AI space, which everybody's trying to figure out what to do with that. And so, whereas like maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I was like, well, what's new? Like, I could probably hand this over at some point. And of course, people would come in with new perspectives and change things, which is fine. You have to be willing for that to happen. But I don't think it would be a huge disruption. But now there's these other parts that they're saying, because you have this interesting unit, because you already work with technology, because you're used to kind of thinking outside of the box and in a program and systematic way. And I'm not like the full ownership of either micro-credentials or AI, but co-leading these initiatives that keep it interesting. And again, going back to this idea of what can we do to improve the educational opportunities for our students. I think it's a combination of being deliberate in those moments where you struggle, right? So whether it's a conflict situation, an indecisive situation, when you have conflicting information from different groups situation, or just something where you really don't, like your provost asks you to do something and you have no idea where to start. I think being deliberate about thinking through what are your strengths, what are the challenges you experience. Like you said, reading books, reading on leadership things on LinkedIn, whatever. It's like kind of absorbing all the different pieces of information that you can. I know that I've had like somebody who I would say, oh, they've been my mentor for the last 10 years. But I think there's lots of people who I've looked to as examples. Like our previous president was here for 30 years, and she was very invested in growing the university into an R1 institution, but also maintaining the focus on access. And so thinking about her mindset, one of my favorite things that she always said was talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And that's kind of one of my mantras that I live by when making sort of some bigger decisions about how do we focus on those sorts of opportunities for students who may not have opportunity as easily elsewhere. A provost who was here previously, I remember one of the very first things he said was the role of a provost is to get out of the way of faculty and make their jobs easier. And I think of that too in a lot of other, it's not just a provost who has to do that, but how do we make other people's jobs easier? Which sometimes means that you go home after solving like a lot of problems that may not be directly affecting the work that you're doing, but they affect the work that your group does, right? And so how do you work to solve those problems? And just being very observational too about other leaders. I think we can see how other leaders behave and you're like, that's not how I want to be. Or you see how their faculty or their staff are not always very, not that we always have to be happy all the time, but they're not comfortable in their roles. And you think, I want the people who work with and for me to like their jobs, right? Like, because if they like their jobs, then they'll probably be better at it. And so I think a lot of observation is key for me as well.